Hello, my people. Welcome back once again. Today is 23rd of November 2025. So, Mr. P2B have finally reacted to Nnamdi Kanu's life imprisonment, including the Abia State governor known as Alex Otti. In a, let's see, in a very detailed way, we are going to take it one after the other, starting from Mr. P2B. Obi has, in fact, he broke the silence today by saying that Nnamdi Kanu's life sentence, that the Kanu's conviction at a time like this, that the news of his conviction should compel every well-meaning Nigerian to pause and reflect. This is coming at a time when our beloved nation is facing severe economic hardship, insecurity, and the consequences of poor governance. Rather than reducing tension, this unfortunate development may well only aggravate it. I have always maintained that Nnamdi Kanu should never have been arrested. His arrest, detention, and now conviction represent a failure of leadership and a misunderstanding of the issue at stake. For years, I have consistently argued that dialogue, constructive engagement, and inclusive governance offer the power to lasting peace. Coercion becomes necessary only when reason has been exhausted. In this case, I submit that the reason was not only not exhausted, but was probably not explored at all, or not fully explored. The concerns Kanu raised were not unheard of. The issues for which he demanded solutions were not insoluble. It only required wisdom, empathy, and the willingness to listen. In any functional society, such grievances are met with dialogue and reforms, aimed at strengthening unity. The government's approach has only deepened mistrust and created an avoidable distraction at a time when citizens are overwhelmed by harsh economic realities and insecurity. While some may insist that the law has taken its course, leadership often demands more than a strict mechanical application of the law. Nations around the world resort to political solutions, negotiated settlements, and even amnesty when legal processes alone cannot serve the broader interest of peace and stability. Nigeria is not an exception. The handling of Kanu's case mirrors the government as a man trapped in a hole, but who, instead of looking for a way out, keeps digging deeper. It wasn't not only the government's predicament, but also the nation's collective condition. If we truly deserve a new Nigeria, a united, peaceful, and progressive one, our leaders must choose healing over hostility, reconciliation over retaliation, and dialogue over division. Only by addressing grievances with justice, fairness, and compassion can we move towards a future where every Nigerian feels heard, valued, and safe. My ultimate call at this time, without prejudice to how anyone feels about the decision of the court, is for us to be optimistic for peace and reconciliation, which will come in the end. I am also saying thereby that the presidency, the Council of States, and credible statesmen who love this country and who are interested in cohesion and inclusively should rise to the occasion for a lasting solution. And this is the message from Mr. P2B. I think the internet can now rest that Obi has finally reacted to the sentencing of his brother Nnamdi Kanu. Because people have been saying, you are quiet, you don't want to talk, and after you want us to cast votes for you, this and that, that and this. Now, Mr. P2B has come out openly to tell you his own part. What, in fact, to tell you guys what he saw and what he's saying. This man has been saying for almost every time when he has been asked, when he was asked concerning this Nnamdi Kanu's court trial, this and that, he said that Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't have been arrested in the first place. That his detention is not necessary. They shouldn't have detained him. There are many ways to solve this particular problem. Nnamdi Kanu is advocating for betterment. He's agitating for freedom. You should look for his requirements, look for what he is saying, and look for a better way. Negotiation, a better way to solve the problem. And you think it's something that bribery can solve? You think that Nnamdi Kanu can easily accept bribery the way who accepted bribery? He doesn't want that because he's a man who has lived in the western part of the world and he has seen good life. He wants that good life to be extended to his brothers in his hometown. But Nigerian government doesn't want you and I as a commoner in Nigeria to in fact, to live a better life. Why their children, grandchildren are all living overseas. We are a better country, where people are experiencing better social amenities, where they are experiencing better life. But they want you and I to suffer in this kind of disgraced country. What a disgrace politicians. Eh? Peter B, thank you for this wonderful piece. And then again, the Abia State Governor, known as Alex Otti, reacted, saying that according to him, he said, it is not yet the end of the road. Ndi Abia. Yesterday, Thursday, November 20th, 2025, a federal high court sitting in Abuja found our son and a citizen of the state, Nnamdi Kanu, guilty of terrorism-related offenses and subsequently sentenced him to life imprisonment. Without doubt, this development has broken a lot of our people and created an atmosphere of shock and sorrow in Abia and beyond. It would be recalled that in September 2017, when soldiers invaded the family home of Nnamdi Kanu, leading to destruction of property and loss of lives, I immediately and strongly condemned that avoidable act and appealed that dialogue should henceforth be explored as the best approach to resolving the IPOB issue. 8 days after the military onslaught at Afaruku Umahia, especially on September 25, 2017, I wrote a piece on my This Day column captioned Operation Python Dance, Killing a Fly with a Sledgehammer. I condemned that invasion and the killings that followed once again and offered extensively well-thought-out views and suggestions I felt could help de-escalate tension and unity and unite the nation if the then federal government was willing to pay attention to those views. This is because I recognize that leadership requires emotional intelligence, restraint and tolerance rather than force and violence. I still strongly believe that the poor management of the IPOB issue at the incubation stage created the problem we have today. Hence, we cannot allow it to linger and create a bigger monstrous situation for us. While the trial that led to his conviction lasted, I personally engaged authorities at the highest level starting from December 22, 2023 on alternative resolution strategy. I must state that some agreements were made which were dependent on quick dispensation of the matter at the Federal High Court. Unfortunately, the matter dragged until this time. I am confident that judgments having been delivered, the alternative resolution will now kick in. It is instructive that this strategy was explained to Nnamdi Kanu when I visited him while he was in the DSS custody earlier in the year. While Nnamdi Kanu is free to appeal his conviction, I am happy to inform you that I have activated and will continue to work on the already agreed strategy until his freedom is secured. I am also happy to collaborate with other well-meaning Nigerians who genuinely want this problem resolved to push for his freedom through the same diplomacy and dialogue with the federal government, which though did not create the problem, but can courageously and compassionately solve it and take the credit. I would like to use this opportunity to appeal to our people to remain calm and refrain from utterances and actions capable of stoking fear, violence, and insecurity and may negatively affect the outcome of the engagement we are already having. I have no doubt that with the assurances I have received from the federal government, a resolution is in sight and Nnamdi Kanu will receive his freedom. May I also caution politicians who have positioned themselves to play petty and dirty politics with the travails of Nnamdi Kanu to jettison the idea and rather work with us to secure his freedom. Finally, I want to assure our people of my unwavering resolve and commitment to genuinely solving this problem with wisdom, high-level dialogue, and diplomacy, with a view to ensuring that genuine peace returns to the Southeast. Alex Otti, OFR, Governor Abia State, November 21st, 2025. Anyway, this is a reaction coming from Alex Otti and Mr. P2B, as people have been expecting that the Nigerian politicians, especially Igbo politicians, should react. Why are they keeping quiet towards the sentencing of their brother, who only merely used word to demand for the freedom of his people? So now, Obi has finally broken the silence. I hope that all the voices speaking against Obi by now might have calmed down. But if you check in this regard, somebody like Reno Mokri is still looking for a way so that Obi can be sentenced like Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know what is wrong with this man known as Reno Mokri. I don't know if this man actually think or reason before writing whatever write-up he think is necessary for him to drop all over the social media spaces. It has proven enough that Yorubas, not all Yorubas love Igbos. He has proven that indeed that he is a wicked vice woman being. He has proven that indeed that he is out to destroy Mr. P2B simply because he's coming out to contest as Tinubu and other women Nigerians who are fit enough to contest or who has the money to contest as the president of the country are contesting for. So what is the crime of P2B? Because P2B said that Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't have been arrested in the first place. You are now using it against him. Just imagine the kind of country we called our own. Not just that alone. I saw all over the social media spaces where people are using this Isaac Adako borrowed debt. They are now using it against Nnamdi Kanu. They are saying it is just a repercussion, is a payback against Aguiyi Ronsi and Ojukwu, who sentenced Isaac Adako, who happens to be one of Niger Delta volunteer force in those days that were agitating for, separatists. They were agitating for their freedom of Niger Delta. As of then, people are now using it, just copy out some of the story that they think that they can use to confuse people, and they paste it all over the social media spaces so that people can, say, yes, Nnamdi Kanu, they did well by sentencing Nnamdi Kanu. I want you to know that when this guy in 1966, he established the Niger Delta Volunteer Force, an armed group, remember, an armed group, they use the word armed group, primarily composed of members of the Ijaw ethnic group, and proclaimed the Niger Delta Republic on 23 February 1966. This declaration led to a conflict with federal forces lasting 12 days before Boro and his associates were apprehended by Ojukwu-led and later charged with treason. They were later granted amnesty by the federal government under General Yakub Gowon in May 1967, shortly before the Nigerian Civil War, after they took over power from Ojukwu in 1967. Following his release, Boro joined the Nigerian army and was commissioned as a major. He sat on the side of the federal government during the Civil War, but lost his life under unclear circumstances in 1968, while on active duty near Ogu, close to Okereka in Rivers State. It is better we should stop believing everything we are seeing on social media spaces. People are now using it just against Igbo. This is to tell you how these enemies of Igbo, how extra mind they can go just to, make others to believe in whatever they are doing. Just imagine what is going on. You see, is this what will be? Not just that alone. We equally saw on the news an outrage that Justice James Omotoshe survives an assassination attempt days after jailing Nnamdi Kanu for life. According to the news, they say that Justice James Omotoshe of the Federal High Court in Abuja was reportedly, has reportedly survived. He was, in fact, they tried to assassinate him today, allegedly, according to what they say. This morning, just days after handing down the life sentence to Nnamdi Kanu, he was immediately rushed to a hospital as security forces scrambled to secure the area. A source equally said that this is an outrage, that a judge cannot be silenced for simply doing his job. I think this is just a staged assassination attempt. They just stage it so that the public can believe in whatever he's doing. We know you as a corrupt justice. We know you as a corrupt lawyer. You know the truth, but you failed to dance to the tune of your brother Tinubu. Something that Tinubu couldn't, somebody like Muhammadu Buhari did not sentence Kanu for 8 years. And under your watch, within 2 years, you sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to prison, to life in prison. You see? Sometimes they keep telling you that your Hausas are not your problem. The real problem we have is the Yorubas. They are the real problem we have in this country. And somebody like Reno Mokri has proven enough that indeed, even Tinubu and even Tinubu's wife, they have proven enough that they are our problem. The statement that Tinubu's wife made on a viral video before her husband even became the president of Nigeria, and she have executed all of them by destroying the businesses, properties of Ndibo in Lagos, as she claimed, as she said. They have done it. Shetima as well, Fulanis are also your enemies in Nigeria. But the Hausas are not your problem. But you see, Fulanis and Yorubas, they are your problem as an Igbo man. Shetima said that with the help of Yorubas, that they will destroy Igbo people. They will silence them forever. They will send them to a place of no return. And guess what? Tinubu and Shetima, they have done it. Some of you who are rejoicing over Kanu's, sentencing, I pity you. It is a pity that we see some people telling you, like I saw one man, he was saying that it is Simon Ekpa's ESN is the one that are causing a havoc and all unnecessary security in the southeast. I still saw where they are saying Nnamdi Kanu asked them to get 2,000 heads. Who and who did you kill? Where did he tell you to bring 2,000 heads? Where? And who did you kill? You see, this life, all I want my fellow Igbo brothers to know is that Nigeria is not meant for us. No matter how hard we try. As a matter of fact, if you're talking about people that really want this one Nigeria, it should be we Igbos, because we are in fact, the way we mobilize ourselves, the rate of our mobility, our locomotion is really something else. We are all over the whole country. We everywhere. Any state you enter in Nigeria and you don't see an Igbo man, automatically you should know that that particular community or state is a no-go area. Tell me how many Yoruba man or woman that's invested their money in the southeast? None. Even billionaire Dangote does not have a single subsidiary of his company in the southeastern part of the country. He doesn't have. Even Bua, that tried to build refinery, they went all the way to Akwa Ibom to build a refinery. There is no single refinery. They are not building any, at least when you look at investment, you say, okay, this investment will bring, let's say, at least it will be generated, like, let's use the word 1 million naira, 1 million tax in one particular state in Alibo. No single investment from anybody, even the federal government in the southeast. There is none. It is a shame to say that we are in this country together with this kind of people. People that we see black, they will call it blue. They will see blue, they will say, this is pure white. Like somebody like Bashir Ahmed on Twitter, he's busy. This man said in 2024 that he is proud to be a Muslim as an extremist. Do you know what it means? You can call him a terrorist. He doesn't care, that he loves it. He's the type that preaches against all that religion that doesn't believe in their religion. That is what he's proclaiming. You get the point? The same people are busy condemning Nnamdi Kanu, but are giving you reasons that why this man known as Shekau Gumi should not be arrested. Why for people who are calling for the arrest and persecution of Gumi, they should keep quiet. They are giving you reasons why people should not be worried over Shekau Gumi's statements all over the social media, and even the ones he's carrying out physically. Is this the people that behave like this? Are they worth living together in a country? With this kind of manner and the thinking, it will be very, very hard for a country like Nigeria to get better. You see why it seems that Nigerian youth, it will be hard for them to rule this country as a president or even as a Senate president. It will be very hard because of their mentality, because of how low they are in terms of reasoning. They hardly reason outside the box. They are just jolly. They are just jolly, just come. That is why whoever that comes on social media spaces, probably they are giving them money, whatever they are doing, they will start defending and believing on the person. That is how Nigerian youths are. Pushy. Anywhere to push them, provided you have money. The same Nigerian youth, the same Nigerian youth are being used by Nigerian politicians as thugs and touts during their campaigns, destroying party meetings and all of that. With this, our reasoning and lack of thinking outside the box and lack of taking our future before us, saying enough is enough. Lack of, waking up and doing the needful. Honestly, it will take decades for power to step into the hands of Nigerian youths. It is really sad. Imagine that Omoto show was attacked. The attack is just coming after he sentenced Nnamdi Kanu, that this is a growing tension since the conviction. For now, details remain murky. Who na one fool? This is just an arrangee, allegation. What it concern us? Clear conscience, fear no accusation. If your heart or your mind is pure, what are you afraid of? What it concern us concern your assassination. If they buy that one, your business no concern us. As a matter of fact, every Nigerian have known you to be a biased lawyer, and even they say you should go back to primary school, not even secondary school, because you're not fit to be a judge. No wonder you did not allow media, presence of media throughout your trial of Nnamdi Kanu, because you know how incompetent you are. Eh? He choke, my people. Oh. He choke. Huh. There are many fundamental errors of this Honorable Justice Omotosho that might nullify all his, that will nullify the Nnamdi Kanu's trial, all his judgments. It can easily nullify it. Many of them, because the learned Nigerian, lawyers are not coming out pinpointing all the mistakes of this Honorable Justice Omotosho, all the fundamental errors of law and procedures that their lordship at the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court might even find too embarrassing to accept over the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. Guys, it really choke. I just want to hear your own thought and your opinion, but I want you to know that the rising insecurity in Nigeria at the moment is being fueled by some political actors who doesn't want us to know exactly what is going on. But I think one security advisor from an African security expert shockingly exposed and fearlessly exposed Una President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he had a deal with the terrorists, and that particular deal he has failed to fulfill it, and now that is what is leading to the excessive and intense insecurity in Nigeria at the moment. I want you guys to feel free to drop your thoughts and your opinion in the comment section. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe. Turn on the bell button so you always get notified whenever I post our latest content. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates.